Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. Scene building. Not really my strong suit in card making. And so I tend to shy away from any sort of set that has little icons and imagery that is designed to create a scene. But today, I'm gonna get over that hump, gonna get over that fear, and I'm gonna make my best effort at creating a scene. Hopefully this will make you realize just because you see really awesome scenes being done, doesn't mean it's easy. Sometimes it takes a little thought, and I'll let you decide how this card project turned out. Scene building for people who kind of suck at scene building, that's me. Coming up next. Today I want to talk about scene building because I am not very good at scene building. And oftentimes I will see a darling stamp set like this. Like, look at how cute this is. Life's an adventure. And these images, along with these cute waves, this is stuff that is easy to color, right? I can handle this. And look at this, all these coordinating dies. But what happens to me a lot of the times is I will look at something and have no idea what to do with it. Scene building I have seen done, and it is an art form, I swear to you. But I'm gonna try to keep it simple and kind of show you how I brainstorm through some of this, because I know that scene building can be difficult, and so I'm hoping to help you feel a little more confident in your own scene building. Remember, I'm not an expert, but I'm gonna give it an old college try. First thing I'm gonna do is grab my little notebook. These are my Evil Plans and Unicorn Drawings. This is kind of a cute little notebook. I don't remember the company's name, but it cracks me up. And so, yeah, I'm gonna turn this as if this were a card panel. And all I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna grab some ink. I'm gonna grab an acrylic block. I'm gonna grab a little bit, my little towel to wipe things off. And I'm just gonna kind of brainstorm what might look good, right? Because I don't know. Like, I really love the lighthouse, but if I did a lighthouse, wouldn't I need to have the lighthouse kind of in an area and then water? And so again, I think, you know, I've seen videos where, for example, my friend Christina Warner has shown how she kind of envisions scenes and whatnot, but she's much more adept at this sort of thing than me. So here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to play. Now I realize this is larger than a card, right? I'm going to imagine that we have a lighthouse. Now, if I had that lighthouse there too, maybe what I would want to do is do some sort of grounding with it. So I'm going to grab a pen. Something like that. I don't know. That's my mound, right? And then I think the waves are super cute. So, you know, I could come here and I could have my waves, you know, and I could just do some very simple, and this could be masked too. I could just use one wave, like I could somehow mask that off. You could stamp a boat. Well, I don't know. You could stamp a boat like that. Okay. Let's just imagine that I stamped it way better than that. All right, we're going to just ink up the greeting, and I would just go boop, like that. I mean, that could be a cute basis for the start of a card, right? You could frame this out to create your elements. Now, what I could do here too is stamp and die cut these things separately. Then I can worry about creating some sort of element that would be my hill. And it could even be a hill die, because I actually have some of those somewhere. But I think this is going to be the general look and feel. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to quickly add a little outline here. So I have a guide, and we're good to go. So I've got my two elements that I will be stamping and die cutting, because I think I'm going to do the waves separately on their own. But I am most definitely going to stamp two of these at, oh, now I got water on there. Look at that. I'm going to flip that over. Come on, we're going to save the paper. Make sure I have that. Sometimes when you clean off a stamp, if your stamp chamois is a little too damp, don't forget to kind of make sure that your stamps are actually dry. So what we'll do here is we're going to use Memento Tuxedo Black, which I was using before, but this is because I want to color with Copic markers. Again, trying to use some of those Copics, picking that up, and I'm going to bring in my little Nicole tool. This is just to help me get nice even pressure when I'm stamping with my MISTI. Helps me keep my wrists in a nice neutral position. And here I'm going to stamp that one more time to get a nice inky black image. And then I'm going to flip it so that I have a backup. All right. Images stamped. And now it is time to start coloring. So next is the hardest part for me in coloring, and that is choosing colors for my project. Now, sometimes I'll just go online and I'll look at a picture that shows what a lighthouse looks like. But whatever I end up doing, I grab my swatches. Now, these are swatches that I created of all the colors that I currently own. Are they in a sensible order? Well, they're in the best order that I could muster, right? I've got them by the Copic color categories. They're not like in a perfect order, because if I add a marker, right, and I need to add something to this, I'm just going to have to add another little area for a swatch to go, right? I have a video for this that shows how I did it. It's still a work in progress. I haven't gotten all of my markers done yet, but I am hopefully going to be doing that sooner than later. But that said, I do want to pick some reds. So I'm going to go into the red world here because I think it would be cute, honestly, to have a red and gray lighthouse. And then maybe I could also do my boat in some sort of complementary color. So I'm going to pick some reds, I'm going to pick some blues, and I'm going to pick yellow. Basically, I'm going to go with a primary color scheme because I know those will go together. And a primary color scheme is a triadic scheme, right? They sit at thirds on the color wheel. So let me grab some markers and we'll get started. I picked a few markers and we're going to get started and see if this is a good combo. Honestly, I never know until I truly get started if something is working or not. That's just how it is with Copics and me. Sometimes they're going to be great and sometimes it's going to be a hot frickin' mess. But I want you to see what I have done with my chisel nibs. I show this in most videos, but I replaced the chisel nibs with fine tip nibs. They can be hard to find. I do have them linked below just so you know the product that you would be out there looking for, but they definitely are a hard item to find. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make basically a red and gray tower. So I'm going to start up here. I'm going to make the whole top red. Well, it's not a tower. You know what it is. It's a lighthouse. And again, I could have looked on the internet at a photo to kind of guide my choice here, but here's what I love about coloring and stamping and card making. You just make your own reality. So whatever whatever you think is going to be the reality that you're reflecting, that's just what you do. And I'm going to create a little shadowing. I'm not a master at this, but I'm just going to blend over that, right? And kind of just get that out like that. So there's a little bit of darker over here with these markers. Pretty easy to blend these two together. And I tend to stick with two color blends. I'm just not confident enough that I would be able to do anything other than that. I mean, I guess I've done a few where I have 3 colors, but if I just keep it simple and stick with 2 colors that work, I'm gonna be happier with the results. I really don't want to do things that are above and beyond my creative pay grade. I just don't think I'm getting much better with Copics. You know, I try, but I keep it very simple. I love watching people who really know what they're doing. And believe me, I definitely take away something every time I watch Copic Masters work, but I don't necessarily apply it to my own skill level. That's okay. We're getting there, right? And that's the thing. You don't have to be the best to have fun, and just create something fun. You don't have to be perfect. This is not perfect. This is what it is. It's a little lighthouse. It's looking, oh, get in there. It's looking like that. That's actually not bad. Can you see it? A little bit of blend there. This is T2, toner gray 2. And then for my dark, let's see, do I have it? Oh, look at that. So I do have one on there that I will be using. And here's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to, well, I should see what the color, oh yeah, I like that. I'm just going to come in here and start coloring the body of the lighthouse. I don't know if this is going to look more like a barbershop pole or not, but now I'm going to come in here with the darker, like that, and again, come in from the side, like that. And actually, you know what? I kind of do want to be able to tap that to that, kind of create a little mid-tone blend there like that. How's that? It's not bad. It's a nice amount of the mid-tone. You see that? I like it. Okay, let's get a little more here. Of course, the thing about Copics that's so amazing, and why I have all these Copics that I hardly use, and I really should, make an effort, is that you can layer color on your paper. It's not going to pill up, right? It's pretty amazing that way. And so this is part of why I want to start, using them more, because, well, I probably just should. And actually, you know what I think I'm going to do here? Under here, I'm going to make a darker, let me use this guy in here. Oh, actually, I might as well just use this guy. I got that little point. That's one of the things I love about the fine point, is it allows you to get into little places like that. Now here's just a single color going over a little more on that side to kind of create a little depth over there. And I think I'm going to grab one more T marker. I'm going to make this up here a little lighter. Okay. I don't know what color I'm going to make the doors yet. I might make them brown, but I don't know yet. So this is just going to go a little lighter up here. Then I will take the T2 and again, maybe just go up from the bottom like that. How about that? Like that. And then come back and just blend that up a little. But you can kind of see how, just creating some limits like this, it really does help this to feel like it's not overwhelming. And that's kind of my goal here. Now I don't know if this is going to be cool or not, but I thought it would be cool to put a little yellow in the lighthouse at the top, right? Because the beams are coming out. And then I thought it might be cute to have it at the bottom too. Now, whether or not that's super wholly accurate, I don't know, but that's what we're choosing to do. And again, creating limits for our colors. Under here, I'm going to do, well, let's see, what do I want to do for the grate going around? Well, let's see, do I want to take the T4? I think what I'll do is I'm going to do every other one like this, like that. Just for a little, a little dimension there, just for something different. All right, lighthouse is done. Now we're going to move on to our sailboat. Up here, we're going to create a visual link between the boat and the lighthouse, right? We're going to have a red sail, get in there with a little bit darker, right? So we have just a little dimension in our sail like that. Our star is going to be yellow, but here's what I thought. I grabbed a couple markers here, and let me see what these colors look like. This is where I haven't swatched my browns, so I don't really know what these look like, and I wondered if I should make my boat brown. And it'll make sense because I'm going to do something with the sail to create some connection. All I'm going to do here is come in here like this. Again, turn the paper because I just can't really make out what I'm doing unless I do. Okay. And I don't know if you could hear that, but apparently someone's honking. Oh, I have a neighbor. He just pulls up and honks because he can't be bothered to go up and actually knock. And I just said that out loud. All right, because it's annoying. All right, take that lighter color up here. Because if it's a nice sailboat, it's probably brown, right? It's made out of wood. Turn. And gentle. Lovely. I think I'll do just a little more brown here at the bottom to create that little bit of depth. I like that. In fact, the whole thing could probably be, you know how boats usually got like that two-tone to it? I don't know. Let's make the whole thing brown here at the bottom just to create a little separation. Okay. Like that. Just kind of flick that out like that. All right. And there's my boat. I feel like I should have a little shadow for the yellow. I'm gonna see, do I have a marker that would do that? I think I'm gonna do that. YR14. Just want to add a little shadow to the door. And I'm mixing a Y and a YR color, but I think, oh good, I do have the small one. I think that's gonna be fine because we're also gonna visually link this way, right? It's always fun too when you're coloring, like if you keep it simple, much like I am doing right here, you can create visual links and cues between your elements. And that's kind of something I strive to do rather than, you know, get too creative. Now what I'm going to do here for the sails is I grabbed, let's see here, T0. This is a very light color because I don't want to be doing something that looks too non-white. So all I'm going to do is just add a little of this to my sails like that. See that? And I think that will be fine, you know, just a little color in there like that. And the nice thing is too, it's also got a nice connection color-wise to the T's. Actually, you know what? I could just color the whole thing in, couldn't I? Let's color this whole thing in. Like that. I think gray Copic markers are among the most flexible. I initially only had warm grays in the very beginning and slowly over time have amassed more of the other grays in the other families. And I really do. I love them. I love them because, you know, a gray sail is going to add just a little bit of contrast. And then I'm going to come back in here and just darken that. Just for a little depth. That's it. That is the extent of my fancy Copic coloring. So let me get the dies for these so we can cut them out. Tip that a little to the side, pop the plate on, and let's run it through and see what happens. Oh, I hope they're lined up well. And it's okay if they're not perfect. You never know until they come out. And let's see. Oh, the boat looks pretty good. And the lighthouse. Oh, look at that. Hello. Hello, good cuts. All right, so I'm bringing this back in, right, to kind of envision what it was that I was doing here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of masking magic out. So this is my masking paper. This is from Gina K Designs. And I think what I want to do is create a reverse mask of, let me show you what I'm thinking here. I'm going to pop this here. And I'm going to pop this where I think I want it to be. And all I want to do is I want to create a mask that will mask this area. So I think, I know this is super, super scientific here, but here's what we're going to do. We're just going to go like that. Okay. And we're going to go like that. And I think we're going to just make it like it's a cliff. Right down to the water. Because the lighthouse is up on the cliff and the water, yeah, okay. And here's how it will look once I cut it. That way, my friends, is going to allow me to create an area like that. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Get you up here, right? Just take you off. I mean, this is a bit of a waste of masking magic, but I think it's okay because I need to, you know, I need what I need. So I want my cliff to be right in there. Okay, just drop it down. That's it. There's my cliff. I think that looks pretty straight still. I'm going to use at least one color of distress ink. Let's rub that down there for this scene. I've got a clean blender brush. I have a few extra of these. I love starting with a clean brush if it's possible. Okay, and I'm just going to load up my brush here with the tea dye color, and all I'm going to do is just ink blend like that. Just like that. I think I'll try to make it darker at the top and then fade it down. How about that? That could be cool, right? Like that at the top. That's our cliff. Okay. And then bring it down. So there's a bit of dimension. Well, maybe. I don't know if a cliff would really look like that in real life, but that's what we're doing. All right. Okay. Sea and sky. Gosh, I hope this turns out to be cute and not a hot mess, because right now, honestly, I have no idea. Made a lovely earthen cliff. So here's what we're going to do. Come on now. And we have a beautiful cliff upon which my craft life is going to be jumping. Okay, so now that we got this going, I'm going to have to figure out how to take the reverse of this. Oh, will that work like that? Oh, yes, it will. We've got our little ship. All right, the ship's over here. It's going to be floating in the water, and I'm going to have waves under here as well. But where is the greeting? Because that's the other thing we still have to figure out how to pop in the greeting. And maybe the greeting will actually come down here. Now it's not looking like I thought it would look, because I think I'm going to have to trim this down a little. I probably will. So let's take a look here with the lights and adventure, which we can pop right in here, right over our water. Taking you off. This is perfect, because this is going to match exactly. See that? Look at that. Now we're going to get it right in line with that. I think that's going to work just fine. Well, lucky for me, I have Waves and Hills from Simon Says Stamp. Now, before I get too carried away here, I think what I'm going to do, and press you down, and magnet. Okay, so the waves that I think I want here, I think I want that, right? Don't I want to have some real waves on the ocean? And if I pull them up here, right, then I can come in and actually, let's get you out. I think that would be cute to have. Well, that, you know what though, that might be a little too motion in the ocean for my boat, but we'll see. Let's try. I think we're going to come in this way, because then my little boat can find safe harbor right in there, right? And then I'll find a place for my greeting as well. So if I come, so I'm going to take my salty ocean. I have another clean brush here that I'm going to use that I've never used before. This is just so I can create the line that I'm looking for. I don't know yet if I'm going to put in the waves. I'm going to tap on here real quick. But I'm definitely going to use this to create the line that I want my boat to be on. Like that. Like that. Like that. Okay. Like that. Okay, so we're creating water with just a little bit. Picking that up, like that. Perfect. Bring that down a little bit more for some more wave depth. Right, just kind of come in here. Yep. Like that, right? And I'll just come here. It's kind of cool. I might not even need to stamp on waves once I have these in, because I got a motion with the ocean here. All right. Let's make this the depths, the darkest at the depths, right? Because that's the lowest level, the deepest ocean. How does that look? Oh, that's kind of cute. Now I can just lightly go over my waves, right, to fill it in. so it's not stark white, right? But you get a little texture there in the ocean. Let's see, how does that look? Come here, little boat. Oh, he's floating in the ocean. All right, I think that's cute. So here's what I want to do. I want to trim this panel down just a little bit, okay? I'm going to take this right here because what I would like to do is I want that to be the cut. Does that make sense? And I'm going to tape this into place right there. And I'm going to go ahead and run that through my die cut machine off camera, and then I'll be right back. I went ahead and stamped Life's an Adventure. I thought I was filming. I was not filming. That's what happens when you make a video. So you get the idea, right? Inked it up, stamped it down, had it all positioned here, right? And now we are ready to go ahead and pop this card onto a base. Although I think I'm going to do a tiny bit of ink blending. So let's grab some yellow stamping ink. I think it would be cute just to have the tiniest bit out here. So I am going to just, I think mustard seed will be okay. I want to see what that looks like. You know what? I'm trying to decide if that's going to look good with the yellows that I have there, and I don't think so. So I'm going to grab a different one. Yeah, I'm thinking wild honey is the way to go. All right, so let's make this nice and easy, right? Load it up. Tap, 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 tap. We're getting the minimal here. All right, and just going like that. Just a little bit out. Just the lightest flare, right? Just a little so that you see there's a little light. There's a light at the castle. I know it's not a castle. See how light that is? I tapped off so much of this ink first, but I think that is what kind of makes it shine. Let's make it a little more up top. Look at that, Calf. You have made a scene. And not in a negative way. You know, I thought it could have been cute to put it on a craft base as well, but sometimes I'm just kind of drawn to the starkness of a simple white card base. So let's get this lined up. Right, well, I got to get offset from that because sometimes the outline throws me off. Does that make sense? So I'm going to just go here, top, bottom, side to side, and get that lined up and press. All right, so now I have this guy. I've got the foam tape on the back here. I think the boat is easy to position, but I have a question that I have to answer in my mind about the lighthouse, because the lighthouse might need a little grounding. I'm not completely sure. Coming on the wave like that, right? Oh, so cute, right? And here's the question. Now look, you could have the lighthouse extending a little bit out into that margin, but I still think that's just fine because it's closer. And what if I took one of my markers here? Which one was it too? I have two. Which one is the darker marker? Can't remember. There's that guy. And there's that guy. I guess that guy's the darker marker. What I wonder is, should I ground this just a little bit? It's kind of floating there, and maybe I could just, you know, just do a little something like that to kind of just ground it. Does that make sense? I don't know. This could be the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. This could be literally ruining my drawing, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's ruining my scene. You know, just a little. Is that the dark? Is that? Yeah, that's the darker. No, just a little, like that. So there's a little sense of grounding on the cliff without going over the cliff. Like that. Just a little, you know, just a little. So it has something to stand on. That might not have been the best decision. In fact, do I have my brush that I did the brown one? Where are you, Brownie? Nah, it's fine. Totally fine. All right, then we're going to pop you right in there. Let's pop you out. The light is glowing behind the lighthouse. And took a while to get there. And actually, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do a little more here. Look at that. Totally does blend in. Let's go like that. Let's come down a little like that. There we go. That's a little. Okay. Oh, Cathy. I wish I hadn't grounded it, because now I feel like if I'm going to go all in, that probably what I need to do is go all the way. Does that make sense? And this, I am breaking every rule of ink blending by doing this, but I feel like this is what I have to do. Notice how careful I'm being to not ruin the card base below. Sometimes, right, you can salvage things, and that's what we're trying to do here. Trying to do that. I can go right up to that line. Oh, that's actually not too bad. Keep going. Keep going. All right, right to the edge, right to the edge. Now our cliff is coming down. We're still gonna flick, 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 flick. Let's get you down here. Try to create a nice, even color coming down off the cliff. I think this is fine. But I think this is much better than it was. And now we just have a simple depth. Color it all. Like that. We're going to fix that too. Like that. And no one has to be the wiser. All right. Forget about grounding. Forget about hyperrealism. That literally just saved the day of my scene. So, thank you for watching. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.